YouTube. This is a video of 1,000 ants versus natural disasters. I have been saving it because whoa, 1,000 ants versus a black widow. Hold on, we're watching this one. Bro, I hadn't. I seen it on my For You page.
If 1,000.
Like, yo, this looks mad intriguing. How about we react to it, man? Let's see what 1,000 ants versus a black widow will do. Let's put our bets in. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I got ants, bro. They have the numbers. Whoa. Calm. Oh, you guys couldn't even see that. I just had what's it called? The 1,000 ants versus natural disasters on my right side. I just seen this video. I clicked it. I'm a buzzer. Why did I not switch my screens? Let's watch this.
And ants had to fight a black widow. What would actually happen? Would the spider's venom come out on top, or would the
hold on. Let me.
sheer number of ants overwhelm her? Well, in this video, I'm gonna test ants against.
Bro, I don't think the venom will come out on top, bro. Because 1,000 ants, there's no way you're biting that many before you're getting jumped by 1,000. You understand? Like, I just think
that and tons of other interesting scenarios to see how strong
this
ants
spider's
really
getting
are.
bodied.
The only
genuinely.
problem is I don't have 1,000 ants. Thankfully, I found this website that sells just that. And the coolest thing is it's a mystery species, meaning we might actually get something
Why is there a website where you can just buy 1,000 ants
really good
for $300?
Let's just add this to the cart.
And I bought the
That
most
is odd.
expensive shipping option to make sure the ants would arrive without any dying during the shipping.
Oh, I am so excited. As long as I got a good species.
Yo,
it's
imagine
gonna
that
be so
pops
fun
in
to
your
watch you go
house,
against
bro.
the Black
That box
Widow
does
and
not look
everything else I have planned for
like
them.
containable.
Anyways, I brought them
bro.
to the recording area and
Like-
opened up the package, and I was kind of surprised by what I found.
Nah, are they in here? Oh my gosh, okay, there actually is like 1,000.
Bro, why are they in a
at least I think
pill
it's scam.
bottle?
Since they were in a pill bottle, I couldn't really get a good look at them, so I got a clear container and dumped them all
Bro.
inside. Instantly, you could now see the true
Yo,
scale of what a
Bro, what is Borderline trying to break out, my boy? Get him in.
1,000 ants
Contain
actually
that
looks
guy.
like. And at least, I think it's 1,000. I'm not counting all these guys. And after analyzing the species, I realized that these were harvester ants, which are equipped with venomous stingers and massive mandibles, meaning
Whoa.
yes, this was actually going to be a very interesting video with everything I was going to test.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now,
Why
for
does the
these
ant kind of
1,000
look
ants to
scary,
be able
bro?
to fight a black widow, we first need to get them in a nest. And well, everyone say hello to the Terra jar. It's like Terra green, except I replaced the green with a jar. Anyways,
Bro,
we
what
gotta
is
dump
in
all
that
these guys
jar?
here. Be free, everyone. This is way bigger than that tiny pill bottle you were in.
Right away, you could see the ants starting to move around on top of the soil. Now, you might be thinking that this isn't enough space for the ants. Well, it actually is, because this is specifically designed for the ants to dig out tunnels all along the sides of the glass. And as the video progresses,
how
we're
long
going to
does
see their
that
nest get
take, though?
crazier and crazier. And yeah, most of the ants were kind of going
For an
crazy
ant
trying
to
to climb
build,
up
like,
the glass,
tunnels.
but after leaving them alone
they're
for only a
mad
few
small.
hours, you could see they were already starting to construct their tunnel system. Each of the worker ants would pick up singular grains of sand from the tunnels, walk up to the surface, drop the
Wow.
sand, and go back down to repeat the process. And when you have 1,000 ants, you can see they dig out a pretty good amount in only just an hour of this time-lapse footage.
Oh yeah, it's sick to see the ants already starting to build
Wow.
their nest. And it should be fully dug out by
They
the end of the
did
video.
that
Anyways, as
little
you know, I'll be putting
amount
these
in
guys
an
to
hour,
test
bro.
against a
That
black
means
widow.
they're
But before then,
hustlers.
I have all of these
'Cause of how
different training
small they are, bro.
activities to
Trust me.
prepare the ants for the final spider boss. Second up, we're gonna see how fast they can take down some prey. Yup. We got a cricket. Oh my
No.
gosh, crickets hate me, and sorry, buddy, you are gonna be, well, I guess you guys will just see what's about to happen.
Yeah, I forgot to say bug warning, guys. Wow, I forgot to say that. There's probably someone here that is probably gonna have a panic attack because of bugs, bro. Because sometimes they be getting nasty.
Well, right after dropping the cricket in, literally
just dropped my
within
boy
like a
into his death,
nanosecond,
bro.
the ants were swarming it. I thought it would only
They
take
body
like a
slammed
couple
him.
minutes, but no. This cricket was already pinned down, getting
No,
venom
RIP,
injected into
bro.
him. As I said earlier, each of these ants is equipped with a venomous
Hey,
sting that is
yo.
obviously not super deadly to humans.
This
but
is
the
crazy.
crickets, when there's like 20 ants repeatedly stinging you, you're kind of done for. Yep, ants don't play around when there's a threat near their
Bro,
nest.
how
and
painful
can
you
see
think it would
over
be
the
to
next
just put
30
your
minutes,
hand in
the
there and
cricket
just
stayed completely
leave it
surrounded
for
by
a
the
minute?
ants. And I'm guessing they already started to rip its antennas off and stuff to get a tasty meal to spread with the rest of the colony.
Nah.
That was cool to watch. Anyways, it's getting late, so I think I'm gonna go and put this bucket.
That
for
bucket's-
the ants, so
yo.
it's dark for them. I'm gonna go to sleep, and hopefully when I wake up, there's gonna be tons more tunnels. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning.
And over those next 10 hours, the ants made their tunnels
Yo, what
so much
happens if
larger
they
and
eat
more
at the
intricate
jar?
than before. And on the back, they even had
Whoa.
tunnels all the way down at the bottom, with ants actively walking about the whole system.
Anyway, ants, it's 8 a.m., and that means it's time
Yo, who has a clock like
It's time
that,
for
bro?
challenge number 3.
I've not
Let's
seen a
get
clock
these
like that
ants
since
trained even more.
1942.
For this training, I have to pick up one unlucky ant and transport him to the ant lion pit. If you don't know
What
what
does
an
that
ant
mean?
lion is, well, this is it. It's just a tiny little bug that has actually evolved over millions of years to be an expert at
Oh my
taking down ants.
bro, it's
Basically, when you go and put them on the floor, they
smacking
start to
him.
dig themselves under the ground, and then they just go around digging. And I have 9 more of these guys, which I
What?
spread across the whole tank. And as you can see, they all dig around, making these little lines in the ground. But after waiting a few hours, you
Bro,
can
I've
see that
never
each of the
seen
ant
this
lions had
guy.
actually dug out their own little pits in the ground, and when an ant walks into the bottom of them, they're basically cooked.
All right,
No.
I'm gonna put you right at the start, and at the end, I'm gonna put
What the
some
heck?
breadcrumbs so you can bring back to the colony if you survive this.
And without further ado, I let the ant loose. Let's see if he can get the bread to feed the colony. Immediately, he started to explore around the sand area. He
Yo.
had no idea.
Did you tell my boy that he's probably gonna die here? Like, did you get him to sign a waiver? What happens if he sues you, bro? No, real. Terra Green, what happens if you get sued by this ant, bro? You need to take this a bit more serious. What happens if his family sues you?
That he was constantly walking near these pits of death.
Don't go in the
Eventually,
pits,
he took
bro.
a wrong step and stumbled
no.
inside of one. These
I'm about to shed a tear, bro.
pits
Look at
are
him.
specifically designed to make the ants trip
He
into
just fell on his head, bro.
them.
No.
But the ant lion at the bottom must have been sleeping or something, because nothing happened and the ant
He's a
was just able to
bozo.
walk out.
Bro
But
was
if you look
taking a
closely,
nap.
this caused the ant lion to wake up. He was now
Oh,
active and
he's
armed,
angry.
with his
He's
mandibles now
angry.
throwing up sand in case the ant walked in again. And over the next few minutes, the
Oh.
ant did just that.
Bro, is he clueless? Are we serious? Yo, is the ant clueless?
He kept walking inside of the pit, but the ant lion just could never quite snap on the ant at the right time. Well, that
What a
was until
bozo.
this. You see, this
No,
is
no, no,
paused
no.
footage, but basically if we unpause it, you can see exactly what happens when an ant lion gets a hold of the ant. The ant lion started to bring the ant underground, and within a few seconds, it was like there was never anything even here. I thought it was over, and you could tell by the sand moving that the ant was getting pulled further and further underground. But all of a
Wow.
sudden, I saw this. A little bit of the ant's head had poked out of the ground. He somehow was fighting back.
Whoa.
Must have been using its stinger to try and
What a
escape.
beast,
I immediately
bro.
rushed back and recorded with my other camera, and what I saw was so weird. The ant had somehow made it out from under the sand, but it wasn't trying to escape. In fact, it was using its front legs to try and dig back under the ground.
Did he just body him
What the
underground?
heck? Why is this ant digging like a dog? He's literally using his front legs to dig in the sand where he almost just got killed. Bro, this guy's
Yo,
crazy.
maybe he murdered him
bro,
down
if you
there.
want to be eaten by an ant lion that bad, I will gladly put you right there.
No, bro. I'm telling you, he just murdered the ant lion back there, bro. Trust
Have
me.
fun, buddy.
And right after putting him in this pit, this ant lion also woke up and eventually snapped at the ants. And
No.
it once again started to pull him underground. But miraculously, this ant was able to fight back once again and somehow broke free.
Whoa. This is the Mike Tyson.
Immediately
Of
ran out of
ants.
the hole and straight over to the breadcrumbs to claim his prize.
No,
nah,
way
this
he just
ant
got
tricked
it.
me to have me move him closer to the bread, and now he somehow
He's
won
feasting,
the
bro.
challenge.
Wow.
Nah, bro, there is something up with these ants. I'm being dead serious. How on
Bro,
earth did he
these
escape
ants got the
ant
Space
lion
Jam
over
juice,
here?
yo.
And how on earth did he escape this one?
Yo, drug test that ant, bro. Drug test him. Yo, how is he moving like this, man? He just survived 2 fatal encounters with dudes with guns. Drug test this guy, yo.
Then no
He is
to go to
super
the bread,
species.
and now it's trying to bring bread back to the colony. Bro, well
Oh.
played. You
Bro, you need friends like this ant, bro. He just did all that hustle work. He just survived 2 fatal encounters. He probably murdered one underneath the bloody sand. And now he's getting bread for his boys?
survived. I'll bring you
What a
and
beast.
all the bread back to the colony.
So I brought it all over to the nest, and the entire colony was clearly super excited because they all swarmed the bread and started taking little pieces of it underground. Anyways, I went and waited a few hours
Wow,
and came
what a
back to
beast.
find the nest even bigger once again. The ants still are not done with their training sessions, and next up, we gotta see if they can survive some Venus flytraps for some food. So I
Whoa.
immediately picked up some of the
How do
workers to
you-
bring them to the flytrap minefield, completely decked
How does a
out
Venus
with tons of
flytrap
Venus
actually kill
flytrap
one?
plants.
For the food on this obstacle, we got a gorilla. And I'm just kidding. I don't know why it's packaged in this. Basically, what it is just a bunch of.
Yo, is that
and I'm
dub
just gonna
pack,
feed
bro?
these to the ants
Is that the
from
flat dub
inside.
pack?
You see, each Venus flytrap has these tiny little trigger hairs
Oh.
inside of them, and when something touches them, it causes them to close. And if I carefully put the oats in between the hairs without hitting any of them, I can basically just put the food in here, which will make the ants have to carry them out. But it was actually pretty hard to get the oats
Yo,
perfectly inside,
this
so I
guy
ended up
is
just spreading the oats everywhere
genuinely
around.
trying to
Alright,
kill the
let's see how
ants,
the
bro.
ants do in here. I have a feeling they're not gonna do too well, but yeah,
I don't
we'll see.
either.
Immediately, the ants had started to swarm out the tube that I'd put them in, and they were probably really confused of why they were all just transported away from their nest. And for a little while, they kind of just walked around, investigating their new environment. That was until a couple minutes later, where this first ant walked up to a Venus flytrap plant. He probably had no
My boy,
idea that
check
these
your
plants were
surroundings,
basically
bro.
alive and wanted to eat him whole. Thankfully, though, this guy was able to walk
Whoa,
out of
what
the
a
plants
hustler.
without triggering any of the
What a-
traps.
what a
However, a
beast.
few minutes later, this ant walked up to another one of the plants, and well, this time all I'll say is he wasn't as lucky.
No.
Surprisingly, he wasn't super attracted to the oats, but it did seem like he may have been attracted to the traps themselves. You see, Venus flytraps create a very thin layer of nectar around the lip of the jaws to lure insects in. And eventually, this ant
Yo, does the nectar taste good?
ended up, well, walking into one, hitting a trigger hair, and just like that, he was now stuck inside
I
of the
think you could
jaws.
survive
As
that,
you can
though.
see, the ant was just walking around inside trying to escape, and he had no idea what to do. Too bad for this guy. This trap is going to release a type of acid over the next few days to basically just turn him into some nutrients to make the plant even
What?
stronger. Now, interestingly enough,
So it's
pretty
like
much all the
acid
ants I
just
put
burns
inside were
bro
staying
down,
away
and
from
he's
the
just
trap, and
trapped
were
there
all grouped up
dying.
around this corner. In fact, they were actually starting the process of digging some more tunnels. Now, these ants still think they're in the nest. They're just trying to dig. Well, I mean, I guess it's pretty smart if you're not getting eaten by the traps. Because over the next 20 minutes, only one single ant came across another Venus flytrap. This guy. Let's call him Larry. Now, Larry is a daredevil because he was walking all over the jaws of
Yo,
all
Larry
of these
is a
plants,
daredevil. I can
absolutely
see he's a
risking it for the
mutated
biscuit.
beast,
But
man.
eventually, Larry's luck ran out because of this happened.
Larry.
The jaw had
Oh.
closed on him, leaving half of his body stuck out.
Larry,
of it.
just
But this
get
was
rid of
actually
your
pretty
legs,
good for
bro.
Larry, because it means he had a chance to escape. Using all of his strength, which,
Larry.
albeit is not very much, he tried pushing himself out of the jaws.
Call your boy
But the
over to
trap
pull
is
you, bro.
designed to just get tighter and tighter as time goes on, meaning this ant was doomed. Well, not
No.
actually, because I kind of felt bad for Larry, so I cheated nature and used my tweezers to open the trap. I safely got Larry out and brought him back to the rest of the colony. Anyways, that
Justice for
training actually
Larry,
went
bro.
really well. Every single ant survived except one. So I brought them all back to the nest and gave the whole colony a bunch of these little gorilla oats to show my support. As you can see, it didn't take long for some of the ants to start moving the oats down to their intricate tunnel systems. And speaking of these tunnel systems, the last training session I'm putting these
Bro, the
ants
tunnel
through
systems
before
are
the
so
Black Widow
cool.
is a
It's like
flood
an underground
simulation.
society,
yeah, I'm
bro,
flooding
'cause
this
that's-
ant nest.
Chat, we are gonna have to live in an underground society soon, bro. I'm telling you right now, aliens are going to invade us. I've been studying this stuff. I'll make a personal video on that another time.
Kinda, because if I actually flooded this thing, it would kill every single ant. So instead, I've got this thing called the Little Dripper, which, as you can see, drips some water droplets very slowly.
Yeah, it might seem kind of lame, but this little bit of water should be enough to eventually collapse part of the ant's tunnel system. And if it does collapse, if they can fix it quickly, it means they would have passed all my training missions.
Bro,
and
what
that
happens if
means
they
they're
just get
ready for the
trapped in
Black
there and
Widow. So I
suffocated?
immediately started to drop the little droplets of water. And initially, the ants were very confused. Some of the droplets were hitting the ants and making them get completely drenched in water. But to my surprise, it almost seemed like the ants wanted to get wet, because more and more of the ants started to gather
What the
around where the
heck?
water was dropping, and eventually a whole pile of ants was getting completely
Yo!
soaked by it. You see,
What a
ants are
dog
amazing
pop.
in their ability to work as a team. And in the
Whoa.
wild, if a real flood occurred, a massive ant colony would literally join together to make a raft out of their bodies. And now,
What?
that way the important stuff like the queen and eggs could stay on the top and stay dry to ensure the future of the colony. And on a mini scale,
Wow.
this is sort of what the ants are
me
doing
just
here.
readjust
They're
this real
joining
quick.
together to make a shield out of their bodies that will prevent the water from getting into their tunnels where all the eggs are stored.
Wow, ants are actually amazing. I was totally expecting these tunnels to just collapse from the water, but it seems like ants
Bro,
have
these boys
literally
are just
evolved to
grouped
do
up
pretty
on
much
it.
anything. I'll remove this water. I don't want to do any more
The
harm.
Little
You guys
Dipper.
trust me. You're very capable.
They instantly took down the cricket, somehow escaped the ant lions, survived the Venus flytraps, and even survived a flood. And throughout that process, they managed to build an awesome nest with a thriving colony.
It is safe to say these ants are ready for for my Black Widow.
Whoa,
Now, this
that
is
looks
actually
scary.
my last Black Widow because all the other ones from my other videos have escaped. Yeah,
Escaped?
But anyways, I went and put
What
the
the
Black Widow
heck
in a
is-
container so you guys could get a good look at it. And as you can tell,
Are we serious right now, bro? That's the Black Widow.
it has that insane, iconic red hourglass abdomen. Wait, sorry. This is my pet robot Black Widow. This is not the real one. Here is the real Black Widow. As
Bro,
you
that
can tell,
looks
it's
scary.
extremely creepy. And under its glossy black abdomen is where the red hourglass is located. These guys have an insane amount of venom, so if it even bites a single ant, it's safe to say it's gonna be a goner. Anyways, here
Bro,
is the
that's
tank
such a
where the
scary
final
thing,
battle
bro.
will take place. I went and put a few sticks from my backyard, then I put in the Black Widow. Immediately, she started
Whoa.
climbing all over the sticks. And I went and waited a little while she sort of settled in and found
Bro, I
a
would
nice
never
spot
go
to
near
rest.
Black Widow,
Once she
bro.
did, I
Them
went to
boys
the
will
ant nest,
kill
scooped
you.
a good amount of the workers into a tube so we could get this battle started.
Let's get these ants
Bro,
in
imagine
here.
like
Let
one
the
day you
game
wake
begin.
up, like you're Terra Green. You just wake up, all your insects are gone from the cages. You look above you, Black Widow, tarantula. Nah, I'd probably pass out. I couldn't have a pet
Immediately,
spider,
the
bro.
ants
That's
started
crazy.
to run out of the tube and down onto the sand. When pretty much all of the ants had made it down to the sand, some started to make their way over to the Black Widow, which was just perched right above them on the sticks.
Well, I
But
thought it
I'm
was
not
gonna be
lie, I'm
1,000,
pretty
bro. Bro
impatient
just said
guy, and
5.5,
I couldn't bear to
man.
wait for the battle to start. So I literally picked up the stick myself
Yo.
to bring the spider down to the ants. Immediately, the spider started to run around, and none of the
This
ants
guy
really
wants to
noticed
kill him.
besides this guy. That kind of bit the
never
spider's
mind.
leg or something and scared it away. The spider tried to escape
he
as fast as it
fake,
could
bro.
by
He's
climbing the
scared.
glass, but it was too slick. Once a few other of the ants had noticed the Black Widow was on the ground, they started to jump it. And it was actually pretty funny to watch because as you can see, there's barely any ants, and the spider was so scared trying to run away
You're telling me you're a Black Widow and you're running away from my little Larry right there?
at full speed. Bro, you're like the most
Bro,
venomous spider
this
in the world.
ant
Why are
is
you
a
not just fighting
demon,
back?
bro.
And yeah, a couple of the ants just kind of continued to terrorize the Black Widow. But the thing is, all of the rest of the ants were kind of just doing their own thing at the other side of the
They
enclosure.
just chill
I had to
guys,
make this
bro.
more interesting, so I had a better plan. I went and picked up all of the ants to bring them back to the nest.
All right, well, I got the Black Widow from the tank.
Duh,
and
bro,
hey, the
don't
title did
drop the
say
Black Widow
1,000
in the
ants
nest.
versus Black Widow. Let's actually put this to the test
No.
against 1,000 ants.
And well, I dropped the spider inside,
That's that.
and it immediately started going crazy, running everywhere. And obviously, the ants did not act kindly. Every single
It's that,
worker
yeah.
went on red alert mode and jumped onto the spider, grabbing her with their mandibles and repeatedly stinging it over and over. As you saw with the cricket, ants do not
just
mess around with stuff
instantly
in the
dies,
nest.
bro.
And to my surprise,
You
the
gotta-
Black
he's
Widow did
getting
not
slammed.
even get a chance to fight back.
Yup.
It's actually pretty crazy how quickly the ants had pinned it down and started to devour it. And yeah, well, that's
Yep.
literally all that happened. And that should answer your question of who wins in a fight. 1,000 ants definitely wins.
Bro,
And they
all it
basically
needed was
beat
30.
everything. There's a reason why ants are the secret king of the animal kingdom, because there's quadrillions of ants around the world.
Yeah, I could
One
kill
final
an
thing,
ant
I have
right
an
now,
important
1v1,
message
bro.
for all the kids and families and parents watching out there. Because the new Terra Green activity book.
Oh, shout out Terra Green. This was an amazing video, genuinely. That one ant was standing on business, bro. He was really hunting down the Black Widow. That was a crazy one. But hope you full screen real quick. Hope y'all enjoyed, man. This was an amazing video right here. Like a Black Widow, man. It's so scared, bro. It was scared of ants. I'm not scared of no Black Widow now. Car outside. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. See you on the next one, man.